Let me tell you now how it is. I just live my life and it's bliss. Why you tryna talk your diss? People see me saying, who's this? Being cool is a talent of mine.
Yeah. Okay, that's brilliant. So Southwest, you're in London. You moved to London. What's the plan? Did you was it like you're in London, you're going to continue pursue with the music? How was, first of all, how was that transition? Because it's quite different.
That transition was crazy, I'm not gonna lie. I was 17.
Okay.
I was 17 when I moved here, and I moved here by myself. So my mom flew in with me to London to kind of help me set up everything and to check the flat. First time she saw the flat, she was like, "You're not staying here. Are you coming back home?" And I'm like, "Mom, relax. I'm gonna make it work."
She came to the south. So.
She was like, "Oh." But then, yeah, the transition was very much challenging, I would say. I remember that day when my mom left. She went back to Moscow, and I've stayed for the first time in the flat in London. I've stayed by myself, and only that time it kind of clocked. Only that time I was like, okay, it's not like she's coming back. It's not like
you're on your own.
Someone from my family's coming back. I'm legit on my own, and I was like, what do I do? I'm like, my pride would never let me call my family and be like, I want to go back. Take me back. Or tell my friends like I'm struggling. I would still be like, I know I'm going to make it work anyways. Independent, yeah. But it was very difficult at 17, definitely, yeah. She's like, aww. I'm good now.
Yeah, but I mean, at 17, it's a tender age, but to move to a different country, that's a big step.
It was such a big difference.
So, well done you. You are independent, and so, you made that transition, that's a big move. So I'm interested to know, when you arrived in London, what was sort of the game plan? Did you have 17 still quite young, so did you have an idea of what you wanted to do? Was music still the hunger, or how did you feel about that?
100%. I already came to London knowing that I'm going to study here. So I applied and I already got in, and I've got unconditional offer at university, so I knew that I'm coming here to study. So it wasn't just me coming here, I choose London, I come here, and whatever happens. I had a plan of 3 years. For 3 years I'm studying here. I knew what course, I knew where the uni is, I knew what I'm going to do. And I was just really hoping that I'm going to be able to network and like find my team, really. That was always my kind of goal, to find the right people. Because I was so... I was in an environment with my friends and my family my whole life, and now I was cut off, and I was in a different country on my own. So I was like, well, I can't stay there emotionally or mentally, because I would be very sad if I did. So I need to be mentally and physically here now in London. So I kind of tried to program myself really to do that, and I found new friends, and I started going to uni, and yeah, that's just how it went, really.
Beautiful. And did you, I know, this was obviously the music, you kind of had a plan and everything. Did you have other interests and things that you like to do as well?
Yeah, so I was doing modeling back in Moscow since I was 15. And I was really hoping that I would find something with modeling as well in London, because I really much enjoyed doing that. But I was never sure that it will go to the point where I will be signed with an agency and actually work professionally, which it did later on when I was she's like, oh.
Like this.
Yeah, when I was 18, I got signed. I got scouted and I got signed, so it went very quickly.
What agency did you get signed with?
BAME agency.
That's a great agency.
BAME agency.
Amazing.
I like the agency because of diversity of people who are in there, and you don't really see it in the fashion industry and modeling industry that much at that time. Now it's better. Now it's changing, but even 5 years ago it was a bit different. So and then London became my bubble.
I love it. Amazing. So that's nice to see. So you have the modeling and the music. So was there a time where because I would assume the music doesn't just always take off, and you have to as you said, build a team, you have to find the right connections. You mentioned networking, which is vital in this business, and how did you find that? Did you feel the industry in London was different to your experience in Moscow at this point?
Yeah, definitely. So in Moscow it was much more about just education and my teachers and getting to the level of being a musician that I want to be in, really. Because I never took it whatever, I'm gonna make a song. I went all in Like when I do something, I go all in, and that happens with every aspect of my life. Like if I do the job, I can suffer, I can be sad, I can be annoyed, I can be tired, but I'm just gonna be doing everything to get that.
I love it.
So that's what I had in music. It wasn't just about making songs for me, it was about getting the education in music. So knowing music theory, playing instruments, knowing vocal techniques, and all of that. So I think I was looking more of the concept of music instead of just I'm gonna record a track, because the recording part is the easy part. It's what behind it.
That's good to know, especially for upcoming artists who are interested in music. So that's a good point you've made. And okay, so that's interesting. So we've talked a bit about other things. So you have your modelling ventures along with the music, and your goal when you came to London in terms of what you wanted to strategize for yourself. So I'm interested to know a bit more about you as a musician. So what would you say, you've lived in all these different places, right? So what has been the source of inspiration for your music, or for you just as an artist? What has inspired you the most about your experiences?
So I think it went again like to the childhood and to my family, and I think a big influence to my music career and even my music taste, I would say, was my older sister. Because we've got a big age gap. So when she was a teenager, I was little, and when she was a teenager, it was like beginning of 2000s, and it was very much about old school R&B, old school hip hop, and all of that.
Shout out to the R&B
Shout out
gang.
to old school R&B guys. And I think that's what I was just listening to because of her. And that's what kind of, now I realize that it influenced my music as well. And then obviously jazz influenced my music. Let's take like 2 seconds for just jazz as a genre. So jazz as a style and my whole education in that is now influencing my music, definitely, and my vocal techniques. And and then it was just switching. So I've just met different people all around. I've met my producers, engineers who I work with, who also introduced me to some styles of music, like Afrobeats that I love now, and just a more of a just a deeper understanding for music. Really, the more people you meet, the more you're open-minded to it. And the more musicians you meet, the more open-minded you are to different types of music. So I think I just took different things from different places, and made it my own.
It seems like you're very versatile in your tastes, and even listening to your music. So that's beautiful. And so you've had all these different sources and inspirations. Now I think I'm sure everyone's journey is different, but as an artist, everyone's experiences are different. I'm curious to know, from your experience, what has been some of the challenges, if you can share with us some of the challenges that you faced? Stay tuned for the next episode.